Hello and welcome to Friday Night Stories. Am I the a-hole for divorcing my husband because he's extremely overweight? I, 27 female, have a 34 male husband. We got married 6 years ago and we were together for 3 years prior to that. When we first met, he was very fit and quite the gym rat. However, since our wedding, he has gained over 225 pounds and is still adding to that number. He is not the man I fell in love with. Every day, when I come home from work, the kitchen is trashed. He can't clean up for himself anymore and needs assistance with daily tasks. It hurts to see how much he has lost himself, and honestly, I'm getting quite tired. I didn't sign up for this. It's like I'm working two jobs. Last week, when I served him divorce papers, he blew up on me. He said, how could I do this to him? And accused me of being fatphobic. Since then, his entire side of the family has been harassing me non-stop. They've been telling everyone I know that I'm a terrible person and it's really starting to get to me. So, am I the a-hole? For me, generally, I would caution people that want to get into marriage to kind of find, for you guys to discuss what would be the main things that could potentially hurt your relationship. For instance, if something like your partner being overweight is something that could potentially hurt your relationship, I would say, given that you guys have a lot of time together, spent about like 9 years, is something that you guys should have discussed. Because from my culture, generally, marriage is something that's supposed to be almost like a lifelong agreement between you and your partner. And sometimes I kind of think, did couples generally discuss the kind of values they would like to have for their relationship before jumping in? As a partner, when someone actually puts on weight, they think this person is kind of near a state where they are generally unhealthy. And I think if especially I want to spend my life, the rest of my life with this person, I'd want to ensure that they're very healthy. So I'll bring it to their attention. To be honest, I'm not sure if this lady also brought this forward to her husband's attention to say like, hey, this is what is bothering me. When I first met you, you were like this, and yeah, because for him it may be something that just came up suddenly if you just served in divorce papers and you never once actually had this dialogue with him. For me, it feels like it's too easy to just jump at it because you haven't even, it doesn't sound to me like you've tried to work it out yet. And just jumping to divorces, I find that many things I come across, especially on Reddit, for when their partners don't do or they act out of line, sometimes people just jump up. Should I sell them a divorce? Should I get a divorce? Those kind of things are just some things that we can actually have a talk about and a dialogue about. Especially if you're saying that you're going to marry somebody. For me, I view marriage as something that is supposed to be lifelong. So after after taking a vow to say, to dare do your part, for someone putting on weight, I kind of think that at first hand, you guys should try to talk and see how you can work around it first. Generally, though, I kind of think, especially as a couple, you want to ensure that you guys are actually trying to be healthy for one another. If not just for one another, you have to be healthy for your kids, especially if you have kids. You have to ensure that you're watching over yourself so that, let's say, long term, you're able to be there to watch your kids grow and also watch your grandkids. You know, I think that should kind of be the aim. I wouldn't say you're the a-hole, but we haven't gotten any sign that you try to work this out yet. And for me, jumping to divorce is too soon, given that it doesn't strike me as though you've had this dialogue and stated how it bothers you. And sometimes I kind of think you can't expect somebody to read your mind. You sometimes have to let out what you truly feel to your partner, and you work it out. Given that he was a gym rat before, I think it's maybe something that he could get back into. Plus, when I'm thinking about 225 pounds on somebody that is maybe above, let me say 6'2", 6'1", it may not be too bad. So my guess is that it depends. If he is, say, shorter than 225 pounds, I can see it depends. I am like at the moment like 210, and I'm not 6 feet. And to me, I mean 225 is 15 pounds above that. But you know what? 225 maybe too much. When I think about it, it might be too much, especially for somebody that's around my height, and also somebody that doesn't kind of take care of themselves in that regard. So I don't know if the family harassing you, it might be maybe because it may have come too certainly, and they might feel that this is something that maybe could be worked upon. Because let's say in your case, you started to gain weight, and your partner was in shape, and he'd been putting up with you for a couple of years now, right? I think if they suddenly just served you divorce papers, you probably wouldn't like that. Not saying, it's just that it's not disclosed to us yet. If try to work this out. Even in comments, someone is asking like, did you previously threaten to leave him if he didn't lose weight, or was this divorce out of the blue? Oh, okay. She says I threatened to leave. I've previously threatened him, but he thought I was just bluffing. Well, okay, then that changes things. I wouldn't necessarily say you're the you're the a-hole per se. I mean, because you've actually you brought this to his attention. So, given that you've mentioned it and to him, and he didn't take, because for you it may have been one of those things for you that you could not tolerate, and you brought it forward to him, but he didn't necessarily work on it. I guess it's fair game. Personally, I'll try to see how I can work things out with my partner, but that is just me. I'm not saying that attraction is not important, but given that they actually were fit before and they just let themselves go, it kind of gives me the impression that there's a chance that maybe he can get fit too. He can get fit again. I'll be wondering what compelled him to stop getting in shape. That's the kind of thing I would personally look into. But I don't think you choosing to get a divorce after you've brought this forward to him a couple more times makes you like the a-hole. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I have. I'll see you guys later.